If you're an e-commerce brand looking to hire an email marketing agency, you should not be making your decision on who to partner with based on the revenue they claim they can generate for your brand. Now, it sounds counterintuitive, but there's actually 3 criteria that you should be making your decision on who to partner with. And if you're owning an email agency, you have to move towards this direction if you want to strategically work with the best brands and position yourself for long-term growth. Now, why is revenue not the most important factor? After all, this is e-commerce, we're trying to sell, right? This is because the revenue that you're able to generate for a brand is usually proportional to the brand equity that they've already built up through acquiring customers and having product market fit. It's actually not the most complicated job in the world to go in and drive revenue for a brand who already has established product market fit. They have a good funnel of new customers coming in. In fact, you can send pretty much anything out to an engaged segment and it's almost guaranteed to generate revenue. So there's not a lot of value in making a decision based on who can design a pretty email for you and hit the send button. Yes, when you're sending a high volume of emails, you do need to pick a partner who has a robust infrastructure, who can generate that frequency of creatives. But the 3 criteria that you should be really judging someone for is based on their ability to solve these 3 specific problems. And this will make them a very holistic partner that supports your overall business. Number 1, understanding bottlenecks to first purchase conversion. Now, email marketers play much more of a role here than you may have been led to believe. This is because they control the pop-ups on your website, the overall list growth, and they also have a strong role to play in collecting qualitative data from someone who doesn't convert via things like the welcome flow, abandoned cart, and on-site surveys. So the goal of a really strong partner to a D2C brand should actually be to set up systems and strategy to harness these insights that can then improve the brand's ability to convert more first-time visitors to paying customers. And you do this through intelligent use of pop-ups, collecting zero-party data, and strategically deploying surveys that find out why someone is not converting at points of friction high up in the funnel, like your abandoned cart, your welcome flow, and on-site surveys. So that's the first element, where you want to vet them based on how effectively they will have a strategy to solve this problem. The second one is finding out what are the gaps between first to second purchase. Now, if you ask most email marketers, they will tell you that you simply need to send more emails to drive repeat sales. That's only partially true, because if someone has a bad experience with your product, they had bad experience with customer service, or they didn't get the intended result out of the product, then you need to understand why in order to drive that repeat sale. There's no amount of emails that you send that will be able to overcome this friction. And a really strong retention marketer will set up systems to collect those insights to understand what the bottlenecks are from first to second purchase. So you do this by optimizing the post-purchase journey, specifically in the first 30 to 90 days for most brands, which is where the majority of repeat sales will happen if they do. After that period of time, it greatly diminishes. So you need to have, again, surveys set up at this point. You need to be proactively integrating customer service and qualitative research into that first 90-day period after the customer makes the first order. And you need to be infusing these insights back to the brand, the product development team, as well as the acquisition marketers, to make sure that, one, the product is fine-tuned and is attracting the right type of customers. And secondly, the ad creatives and copy is positioned to attract the best customers, which lead to a high lifetime value as a result of that. So that's the second component which you should be judging someone on based on whether you partner with them. And the third component is a creative way to use automation and campaigns. And again, it goes back to acquisition. Can the retention marketing partner that you select collect UGC and help to infuse acquisition with these assets? So I'm talking about social proof in the form of reviews. I'm talking about content assets, because the way for a modern D2C brand to grow is not just through product, even though that is the most important. It's often by creating a media entity around the brand. And one of the best ways to collect those media assets is post-purchase with retention marketing channels like email, SMS, and really taking these, infusing them back to the acquisition team so that they're able to holistically improve that full cycle, the funnel of the business. So they're the three components that you should be vetting someone on, asking them a lot of questions on, and then making a decision whether to partner up with them or not. Because anyone can hit send or schedule on a campaign to a highly engaged list and drive repeat sales, but it takes true strategy, expertise, and skill to tackle those three problems, and then crucially implement the findings from them and actually make a measurable incremental difference to the business. How effectively can you tackle those three problems? That will determine, if you're an agency, how much you can charge a client and not end up in a race to the bottom charging based on deliverable.